Right, so we're going to move on to this Thunderpole. What you don't know is today was looking at one of the sets Alan kindly sent in, which is a Falcon FCB 1281. I've actually spent two 40-minute sessions on it. There's a problem with the phase lock loop, no transmit or receive, and it isn't the phase lock loop chip, and it isn't the VCO chip either. So we're going to have to compare with another working set, and there isn't time to do that when there's customer repairs. What we don't want to do is to have customers waiting weeks because I've spent 3 days on one of our sets. So we'll put that on the back burner along with the Midland 210 DS of mine, which I've also put on the back burner this week. So this is a new set for optimisation. So you get the same, I like it, Mike, that you got with the Thunderpole we did the other day. This is for 12 volts use only, so there. So see whether we can do this in the 40-minute time window we've now got left. So if you remember, we looked at one of these a few weeks ago, which Alan had also kindly sent in, and something quite complex, wasn't there, Ron? I can't remember. But anyway, there's two versions. I think there's an early version and a late version. I'm sure I'll remember when I open it up. And it goes without saying that the one we were looking at was an early version. Don't know whether that's normal audio, whether it's one of these funny balance things. Right, I'll tell you what, we'll just go through it before opening it up and breaking the seals to make sure it actually works. 13.8 volts, power on. Oh, we have to connect it to power. I'll fancy that. At least it doesn't come with a cigarette lighter plug. Okay, so put it to channel 20, it's up down. Now on these sets, if I remember rightly, this RF gain only works when it's in AM mode. So I want that in UK, and obviously it's on UK, so otherwise it wouldn't be making that noise. Okay, so let's put picture on, and we're in the 3 watt scale. It's just gone across, it's doing 3.1. Because this is 80 channel capable, we'll do channel 1 CPT, and we'll do those UK just as a reference. So go to channel 40, and the power is 3. So CPT channel 1, surprisingly it's 2.9. I thought it was going to be like 3.2. I thought it would be, because it's more difficult to generate the higher frequencies, but anyway, there you go, 2.9. Doesn't have low power, it's not a 2781 set, obviously. So, back to UK. I keep turning that big knob for channel and its volume. And the current consumption is 1.435. We'll take this reading with a pinch of salt because the deviation meter isn't always accurate on this test set. Wow, it says 1.5, which actually I can well believe. And the frequency, if we go to the frequency counter, it probably isn't adjustable, but it's 2779101. Go to the receive side of things, see how we are with the signal generators. 2779101, we'll set it the same. I thought it was going to be 007 then. Cyanide meter on, put the camera on there. Poltergeist keeps moving that. We'll plug the test instrument in. Turn the volume down a little bit. Turn the squelch down. Is it on auto? Hello? Why is the squelch not doing anything? Because it's got auto squelch on the mic. Okay, so as it comes, I'm just going to verify that my switches are in the right position. So we're in EMF mode, we're in ×1. That's about 12, and it's 0.3 microvolts. For 10 dB, it's 0.27. 20 dB, if it does it, some sets don't, this one does, it is 0.68. Squelch on full, I'll put ASQ in as well. Squelch on full is stupidly high 3 millivolts, and squelch minimum, set that, is 0.63. Automatic squelch, sorry, 1.55. Does it have a meter? It does have a meter. For what it's worth, it reads 4, and on S9 it reads 2 bars. I'm not sure what these relate to. Is that 9 and then that's plus 30? If that's the case, it's then 1 millivolt, which is a bit lazy. No meter lamp. Switches work, pots work, socket works, doesn't have that, mic works, we haven't tried the speaker. Right, let's open it up and see if there's anything we can adjust, though I'm sure we've covered these before. Remember, there's a screw in the back, just like that. pluggable speaker, except the wires are so thin I hardly dare pull it. Okay, let's see what we can do. So, because he wants it to work across the 80 available channels, it does have an AM capability, looking at the transformer there. We'll do it on channel 1 UK. There we go, channel 1. I ought to have looked at my video of this, and then I'd know what want to twiddling, because I haven't got any notes. So I think we're going to find there's deviation. But other than that, it's all educated guess, so we'll okay, so hopefully one of these is going to be power. So there's nothing to line up, either on transmit or receive. There's just a few presets, and we're limited to that. Anything I alter, I can of course put back because I've got the test gear. That has increased the power. What does this do? That increases the power too. Okay. One of them is going to be modulation, the other is going to be deviation. That's going to be deviation. Let's just get the deviation meter on that, and then I'll verify it on another test set. Ah, of course I've got to retune it because we've gone to CPT. Well, yes, Mr. Tango, that was a silly thing to do, wasn't it? Wallow. So I suspect that's going to be deviation. Wallow, 1, 2, which it is. So it's about 2.2 on there, but I'm going to verify it on another. So that's deviation. One will be, is this left over from Germany where there was 1 watt of AM and 4 watts of FM or something? So we'll set it, we'll set that for if it'll do 4 watts. There we go. And then we'll verify that in AM later on. So we'll put that one down as power. So that's it. There's nothing else I can adjust. So now we will have to reprogram the set to go on. It's EU, isn't it? Out of interest, how does that alter things? Okay, no, I'm going to have to get the instruction book out unless I can just guess this. PTT and down button. Didn't hold it long enough. Try again. Is it CE I want? Don't know. Find out. Right, so it's EU on both, but no, that's FM on both. Try again. Must be EU then. It is. Right. So, let's look at modulation. May as well do it on channel 20. Oh, here we go. We've got to unplug the extension speaker once we're in AM. So we're doing 4 watts, and our modulation, Wallow, will have to be retuned on the machine. 1, 2, Wallow. Testing 1, 2, Wallow. He's about 84%. So, chances are that's going to be AM mod. And I'm right. Wallow. And that brings us to 92%. So, although I've got something amiss with the deviation meter, I haven't got anything wrong with the AM modulation meter. So that's just something to note. So, we have got AM equals 4 watts. AM mod is 94%, which is a bit higher than it's supposed to be. It's supposed to be 90. But I can't see any squedging or anything. So I've put that in the wrong box. It's 1.5 kilohertz there. So that's done that. So let's just see what the power. We'll go back to where, just to show you whether it does the same power on AM and FM. We'll go to channel 1, take it to the basement, and we'll look at the power, and it is doing Wallow. Of course it changes. It's actually under modulating. So as I talk, the power goes down, which means that the modulator isn't doing 4 watts. It's always something to look for. Where was I? It's doing 3.8 watts. Let's go to FM. Yeah, it's doing 3.9. Let's take it to the top of the shop. And it's doing 4 watts on there. So go back to UK. And we'll take it to channel 40. It's a very slow scan up if you press press and hold. Yeah, it's doing 4 watts there. Well, I could say it's doing 3.99. It's doing 4 watts on there, and it's doing 3.9 on there. So I think that's the best balance. It's doing the same power on AM as it is on FM. It slightly undermodulates, which means that if you haven't got 4 watts of audio, you've probably only got about 2.8 watts of audio. But they probably don't expect anyone's going to use AM anyway. Right, there's nothing we can do with the receiver. All I'm going to do now is to verify that the deviation this meter says is the correct by using 2 other meters. So I'll just switch the test set on behind me. So these don't change because it's non-adjustable. So that's what it is. But I'll tell you what, you can't argue over those sensitivity figures. It's excellent. Right. Mind you, when you do these on the air test sets to 1 microvolts, they still work the same. It's just that there's such a noise floor, isn't there? Especially on the CPT set of channels. So we'll be testing this on the air test. We'll go to the 5 mile point. We'll switch between UK FM, and then we'll go to CPT FM, and then we'll go through to CPT AM. I will just mention that I've been so disappointed with the first 2 of these we've done recently with an AM test that I actually checked the set in the car and realigned it to make sure that AM had been done, and it had been done, and it was right. So there you go. It's just pretty crummy here anyway. Perhaps it works for you. It doesn't work for me. Right, we'll plug this into the Ray Caldana meter, which I can't show you because there's no camera there. We'll set this to channel 20 UK. Look at how slow that goes. And we'll key up. Wallow, wallow, wallow. It's actually a bit high. Wallow, wallow. That's about right. So now we'll plug the set into the test set behind me, whose deviation meter I've never trusted since the day I bought it, which is why we're using 3. Wallow, wallow, wallow. That says it needs to come up a bit, so I'll tell you what, we will. Wallow. And then we'll see what it sounds like on our talkie-walkie. Testing 1 2 1 2 wallow. Excellent. We're done. So between those 2 we've got the power adjustment, AM mod and deviation. There's nothing else adjustable. Not sure I like the way it's got a relay, but then how many relays have packed up in the older sets, and I can't say an awful lot. Those Eurosonic sets, I've got a scrap one here. Do you remember these? Which is, it says CB340 on the chassis. These were the Alba CBM1, or the Eurosonic Euro 1, Eurosonic Euro 2, and I think there's something else which used this chassis. Basically a Harvard handheld, but it's 4 watts. And but anyway, I like them, but they've got a relay in them. We did actually get some relays, and I got them from the United States, and it was I think it was a Canon photographic part, and it made them 17 quid each. I used in some Canon accessory. Yeah, anyway, I have got some. I'll say to customers, "Oh, it's your relay," and I go, "That's the £17." I go, "You rob dog." I can show them what I paid for them. Right, put the speaker back. We're just going to look at the meter when I've put these screws in and see how fake it is. While I was doing the power, I wish I'd turned it down to about 1 watt and just seen whether it makes any difference. I was trying to think which was the first Thunderpole set they actually did. Because I think it's only recently that Thunderpole, I'm talking the last 10 years, and that Thunderpole actually had some sets made for them. But out of all the new sets, I do tend to find it comes set up out of the box working the best of any other make. Okay, so we're going to switch it back on. And we're going to press transmit and look at the meter. And I'm not in the right one, am I? I'm now... Here we go. Plugged into the other meter still. Was before. He's now saying 3.5, but it is doing 4. It's running through another thing. So I'm going to turn the power supply down to 9 volts and see whether the radio still works. Does it still transmit? It does. So right, put the radio on. So we're now going to put this on the 3 watt scale. So I'll just turn the volume down so we can hear each thing. So it's still working at 9 volts, and it's doing 320 milliwatts. Let's look at the power meter. Oh, look, all the bars light up. Another fake meter. Let's go to 12 volts. Look at the power on the test set. It's now doing 2.8 watts. And full set of bars. Go to 13.8 volts. We'll have to change scales, and I'll tell you what, I'll go to the trouble of plugging it in direct and not through the other piece of gear, so that we can actually see where I've set it to. So 4 watts is there. It's 4 watts dead on, and a full set of bars. So it doesn't matter how many watts you're doing, it's a full set of bars. And this is the way they all seem to be. Fake transmit bars. Right, so we'll put it on the aerial, and I'm not in any way disrespecting Thunderpole. They all are doing the same, so it'd be nice. I mean, those Midland 78 things, which I don't love that much, but we have in the cars. At least they've got a real meter on it, which is relative to your SWR, like they used to be. Right, we'll put it on the aerial. 1 and a Roger. Turn the test sight off as well. 1 and a Roger. So if you're not going to have a meter that actually reads power, why have it at all and not just have a TX light? You know, it's that sensor circuit isn't that complex. Right. Bring back the Fidelity 1000. Right, here goes. That's it. So that's another set optimised. That's set number 4 out of 6, and that leaves another new set. Oh, it's a CRT 2000, and it leaves his second Comtron. So we'll do this Comtron last, because then number 1 was a Comtron and number 6 is a Comtron, and otherwise you'd be fed up with the same set. So there you go. Thanks for watching. Hope you found that interesting, how to adjust 4 adjustments using the test equipment here.